Good morning, everyone. It's Tristan. I'm attempting to put in a dig a driveway, because can't dozer because it's too cold. So I'm attempting to roughly cut in a driveway. And emphasis on rough, because we only have a few stakes. And there's snow over everything, so I can't see anything. So what I did is I went along with the blade and I roughly bladed where I think the driveway needs to go. So, and it's not a straight shot because the owners don't want it to be a straight shot. So they want it winding to go around this field. We cleared this field last week and a couple weeks ago. It looked a lot like those trees across the path. We couldn't see through them and there was a lot of brush. So we cleared that already. We put in a makeshift bridge to cross the creek. We had some concrete pipes, leftover concrete pipes, and we put those in so that we could get across easier. But that's what we're doing today. Probably the rest of this week too. Eventually we're going to be digging a pool house, and there's going to be a pool next to the house, near the house I should say. And they have all kinds of sanitary sewer, drain lines. We got to put in 160 feet of 18-inch culvert on the back side of this driveway across the way, because that's what the engineer wanted. I don't really know why. It's overkill. This is a residential project, so I mean, and they own I think like 20 or 30 acres over here, so we're not going to be disturbing anything. But that's what the engineer wanted. That's what's on the plans. So that's what we're gonna do. Basically, just taking the crust off because the dozer can't break it. But if I can get the crust off, then hopefully we can bring the dozer in and clean everything up. Get it looking where it's supposed to be. But we do have quite a bit of liberty to put it where we want. You know, they gave us a few stakes. Goodness, that's frozen. So we'll use those few stakes. Like, it wraps around, and then it basically runs along that wood line, goes all the way around in a big horseshoe, and then goes up there near the house. We're gonna be here for a while on this job. Big job. Sliding. Good times. started cutting up the front where the truck is, but there's there's an existing driveway that runs from the truck all the way around the big pond, but obviously it's covered in snow and it was kind of overgrown and not very well maintained. So, and I don't know really where it is, and I don't really want to take the time to find it. So I'll wait for, it's supposed to warm up a little bit during the week, so maybe the snow will melt, be able to see it better. I really don't want to cut it in too deep on accident. Because of the snow, I can't really see anything. But it should be all right. Do know we need to build this edge up, so. I've uncovered a few stakes that we mowed over on accident, so I think I'm on the right track with my snow drive. Cutting off the top, and that gets me to depth, more or less. What I'll do is I'll cut this line out, get that fairly clean, then I'm gonna go get myself some pink marks for 12 feet. That's how wide they want the driveway. This was all thick brush, so it's got all kinds of roots in it. Not very good material, but it's just a driveway. And they want it to look rustic, so that's why we have a little bit of leeway for that too. Which, granted, I don't really know what a rustic driveway means, but when we go to top coat it on top of our 304, we're going to be using washed river rock or something like that, which is like 57s here in Ohio, but it's colors like it's like river, you know, what you'd see in a river. Why not? We're in New Albany, Ohio, which is a lot of money in New Albany, let's just say that. Doesn't really, this machine is a 308 and it doesn't really struggle that much at all going through breaking stuff. You can be using the mini and that thing you can't do anything. I mean, there's 6 inches of frost here and it's pulling it up just fine. It slides all over the place, but I don't think you're gonna get around that. build this side up, so I'm gonna put a lot of the spoil over here. At least on this first cut. To get any answers on this project, we have to go through the builder that we work for, who has to go through the architect, who goes, he's like an architect, landscape designer guy, and basically he's in charge of the project, and we're never probably ever going to talk to the owners, which doesn't bother me because that's usually a pain. But we'll get a bit done today. I don't know how much we'll get done, but we'll see. I don't mind cutting driveways out with the excavator. It usually goes pretty well. Yeah, the dozer's faster, but this just cuts really clean lines. Keeps the edges really clean. So when we cut in the driveway, I usually go and cut at least one edge with this or the 50, it doesn't really matter. And then we'll measure back from that, and that will be, we'll put all the spoil. So say this is a normal driveway, I will cut this side that I'm cutting in now and then make it really clean, and I'll measure back 12 feet every, I don't know, 10 feet or so that I have another line, and I'll cut that line in, and as I'm cutting that line, I'll cut the middle out and put it all to that side. That way this edge is really clean, and we can cut that side a bit wider, and then we'll grade the dirt back to where we want the driveways after the stone's in. It keeps it really clean, and it's pretty useful. Like we started doing that. It's kind of an experiment. From there we decided it's worth it. It might take a little longer, but you get a really nice result. And because we put 2s as our base of our driveway, and having grading the dirt back up to the 2s allows us to cover, you know, those stragglers that you don't want to come out later down the road. Good grief. This is the only thing I don't like is, yeah, you get stability from the blade, but not very much. Scott is out right now attempting to backfill dirt on a basement that we dug a couple weeks ago with the dozer, and I don't know how well that's gonna go. Probably not very well. We're supposed to also put in the driveway in Delaware before Monday, but all our stuff's over here, so that should be a pain. But it is what it is. So I got 2 stakes behind me, so I'm gonna cut up to my blade. I'm gonna get out and paint a little bit, get myself some marks. I'm not gonna make the bottom of this perfect either, because the plan is to bring a dozer here clean everything up if we need it. You know, this isn't, I can get it pretty good, but the nicer you get it with this, the longer it takes, because you're taking that time to make this look nicer, which isn't a bad thing, but the age-old rule, time is money. That it is. All right, so I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna cut the other side and do some painting, and I'll catch back up when I get this first section cut out. All right, so I think I found a system. So what I'm doing is I'm tracking back to my stakes that are behind me. So I've got a stake right out there, and I got a pink mark marking 6 foot. So what I've been doing is tracking back to it and then basically drawing the edge of the driveway with my track, and I'm staying like a couple inches off my track mark down there, and that's my edge of the driveway. Is the best way I can figure out how to do this. And it's working all right so far, as long as I track in the right spots. I'm sliding all over the place. I'm having a heck of a time with this. Just like that. And so basically this used to all be brush, basically. So there's a lot of roots in here, and I tried to get the stumps the best I could, but they were little pear trees. They're only 4 or 5 inches around. But what happens is you'll break them off at the ground, and then you can't see the stumps anymore. So when I'm going back, I keep hitting stumps, and they're frozen, so it's just a real bear to get through. Bear with me as you stare at my face, I assume. But see, like right there's one right in front of me. So I'm having to blade all the way down just to stop from sliding. That one wasn't so bad. I'm also having a heck of a time controlling my depth, because it'll go from only a little bit of frost to like a foot of frost, and you gotta get, there's no way for me to get down without taking the whole foot of frost out. So my depth is not the most consistent thing in the world, but I think it'll be all right. Getting hot here. It's amazing though, the difference between now and this morning. It's braking kind of easier, kind of not, but not that bad. That's a lie, it's terrible. we're dealing with. This machine's starting to become old Chatty McCathy. The bushings are non-existent anymore. We've done a lot of work with this machine. You're starting to tell. Whoa, we're slipping. Here's a better look at what you get when I'm done. This is kind of what it looks like. It starts like that, obviously. I have no markings really, but we walk down here. You see, and I left little piles where the stakes were. Those were my centers. But it looks better up here. We're supposed to be 12 feet wide. I don't really know what we are, but the dozer's on its way, so I can clean it up better. But it really doesn't need too much more work. This is kind of a pain. There's rocks in here, so those were fun and frozen, but it curves down this way, goes back around and loops over by the pond, but not too bad. I've only been at it for, oh, I don't know, 5 hours or so. So I got a lot done so far. It's only almost 2 o'clock. Got here at, I think, 9. So, anywho, I'm gonna keep digging away, and I think that'll be the end of this video. So, thanks for watching. To get it all in one truck. I think we'll be pretty close now. It'll be a good load though. Big, decent pile. Let's see. Just gonna add this to the end of my one video. We got the driveway all the way in. We did that one day. 420 tons in a day. Had like 3 trucks running, then all of a sudden 6 came and got it all pushed out. Which is good. Put the light stuff on the bottom, and all this other stuff is pretty heavy. It's got a bunch of dirt.